is Virgil's turn. Virgil's gonna move up a little bit and do his full attack action on Cowson.
I'm like 40 feet in the air.
Cowson is 40 feet in the air.
40 feet?
Yep.
40 feet.
Yep.
He is 16 feet. His reach is 10. He wouldn't be able to get him.
Alright, Drizzt, get over here.
Oh, you know what? Go for it! Go for it, fam! Go for it!
He jumps! World star!
Wait!
Try to hit him, by all means.
Since once again, if Drizzt fails, or Drizzt can add that 1d12 to his AC.
He already
if
used
needs
it.
to. Okay.
He used it for one of his many crits.
Ah.
Alright. I think he's just gonna have to take this one. You know what? Okay, so he's gonna... get hit here. He's gonna go ahead and use his lucky. Drizzt used his lucky to go ahead and replace that one. He's gonna, yeah, so he's gonna have to take that one.
Just like, yeah, no.
Miss, hit. Okay. Let's... The 7th, that's 13, so... Okay. So Drizzt takes 26 points of damage from both hits.
Owie!
Yeah.
That's half damage, though. Oh, he's a little squish. Hold on.
So he takes 26 points of damage from those 2 hits. And has to make Constitution saving throw. Passes the first one. He's gonna fail the next one. He's gonna use Indomitable on that one.
Indomitable!
Good lord.
So he passes that. So he passed both of them. I'm gonna say he's gonna place these 2 way over here.
So he can try to get the hell away from him. Okay.
God, it's like a fucking game of whack-a-mole.
That's exactly what it is.
it's the world's worst Jack-in-the-Box.
Alright, it's Doomwing's turn now.
Dodge.
Okay. Alright, now it's Balam's turn. It's gonna move up here. Seamus, you heal 50 points.
Holy shit, thank you, Balam.
Woo.
Ah, thank you, Lord!
Anytime. Move up closer. And then that's gonna be his turn. We are on round 4. Now it's Drizzt's turn.
He rolled an initiative?
Yeah.
Oh! Well then. Never mind. I'm sorry I said anything. You know, I can hit that too, Drizzt, just so you know.
So he's gonna move up. He's going to go ahead. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, oh. And then just gonna move 40 feet up.
It's just like... I just see Drizzt Naruto running with the scimitars out to either side of him.
I know, it's an amazing idea in my head. Like, it really is.
And he is going to hit on all of his attacks, all his other attacks.
Oh. Okay then. Well.
Unfortunately, his first one didn't count, but his next one hit, and he does 78 points of damage total.
Good lord above.
We've rallied.
If I could just hit this fucker.
Alright, Barash, your turn.
Can't reach him!
You can throw your javelin at him.
Not the same.
Or you can hit him with your Ring of the Ram.
Yeah, because I don't have to discard a weapon to do that.
Yeah, just like hold up the just like you use 3 charges of the Ring of the Ram and just try to smack him in the face with it.
Yeah, I gotta find it in my freaking sheet.
You can also prepare an action so that if he tries to move away from Drizzt, you can try to hit him in one of the other ones.
Well, I can prepare action to move or to hit, but I can't do both, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so that doesn't help me. I can literally go like, take a step here, like, if he comes to this one spot...
I mean, that spot is away from Drizzt and away from a good part of your party, so he might try it, Like it's either this one or he gets to dance with the drow in the pale moonlight over on the other side, which I don't think he wants to do.
The demon, so he's probably magic resistant to my spells. Although he dodged the first one, he just didn't stand for his resistance, so...
I mean, you could just try the psychic attack, and if at anything else, he's been using a reaction to do this, or legendary actions, which takes it away from what he's able to do during his normal things. So at the very least, it'll force him to not take it, or leave and jump where the rest of us could get to him.
To be that legend.
This is my moment!
Barash moves there and prepares to use his full attack if the demon gets in range.
Okay. Alright. Versa, your turn.
Okay, so... Yeah, I can do it though. Whoop! Mind if I cut in handsome? And... give me a second.
Alright, that's a hit.
Okay. $31 plus 15. No, that is 31 plus 15. Okay, so 46.
Okay. Boop.
Call this a feeling. And let me see. I can use my bonus. Yep.
Down here to me.
No.
Oh, well,
No, because what she wants to do is if he keeps popping back over here, if he has to leave Drizzt, she's going to be here to smack him. So she's trying to limit the places that he's willing to go into.
That and everywhere he pops up, Cows can also shoot if we force him to move.
Exactly. So what she's trying to do is stop the game of whack-a-mole and trying to run away from him and just get there, because she can run to wherever he's going to be, but she's trying to figure out where he's going to pop to next. And since Drizzt clearly has enough movement speed to cover this entire arena, she's just trying to give this being less places to go, basically. That's all she wants to do.
Done?
Yep, I'm done. And she just says toodles and just like leaves and goes over here.
Alright, so Virgil roars in frustration and uses a legendary action to attack Drizzt and misses. Now it's gonna be Kaus' turn.
Yay, Kaus.
Shoot in the forehead, Kaus.
Yep, Kaus will shoot.
Actually, first see if you can get your. Actually, never mind. You don't have to, because yeah, never mind. Go ahead.
Drizzt is there.
You can say that in a sentence.
That's a hit.
Yay. It's 40. Well, potentially half.
Very nice.
Boom, boom.
Flip.
The whip. Anything else?
No.
Alright, Virgil's gonna use another legendary action to attack Drizzt and miss again.
That's so sad.
Okay. Seamus, you're going.
Seamus is gonna point at Virgil and say, point at Virgil and say, "You've forgotten the face of your companions, you blood-dripping idiot! Drain this!" And he'll use vicious mockery on Virgil.
Okay, he fails it.
Alright, so 10 points of psychic damage and disadvantage.
Okay.
And screw it. He's gonna give Barash Bardic Inspiration. Barash, you have Bardic Inspiration.
Neat. Can I add that to my movement?
No.
That would be busted.
Like, drain this, you fuck!
Wow.
Seamus!
Wow.
He's killed my kin! I'll not stand for it!
I mean, the bad language isn't going to bring them back.
Well, I mean, depends.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. Depending. I mean, I've never actually saw that kind of spell, but you know, it could be. I don't know.
Literally, it's an entire school of magic that relies on cursing.
Well, I mean, there are curses.
That's
So
exactly what they
Virgil-
are.
Virgil does his full attack, his full attacks on Drizzt, and with the disadvantage, misses all of them.
Yay. Outrageous.
Does Doomwing go into dodge?
Yeah.
Bottom's turn. 30. We're on round 5.
So I'm gonna say he can't shoot.
Family pistol!
Hits, that's 11 damage.
Hey, the 11 damage is 11 damage, okay?
Mm-hmm. Chip away at this old boss fight.
And then you hear
Virgil, never forget me. Why?
and then
Last part?
He said mere why. He said Virgil never forget mere why. Oh man. I have icky feelings, guys. I've got icky feelings.
and then Drizzt says, "It's time for you to go back, sad creature." And then makes 6 attacks. Virgil does not try to teleport and takes all the hits and has dealt 93 points of damage. So Virgil bows his head, blocks some of the attacks, but seems to have gone rather limp as Drizzt stabs into the large beast, pulls himself up, flings himself into the air, and does a beautiful twirl as he slices Virgil's head clean off his shoulders.
Oh man.
I see it in my brain. I see the move, and it's like, that's my boy! That's my elf!
Beautifully executed.
and then you can hear Virgil's moan as the beast fades away, turning into nothing more than pools of blood as all the pools of blood begin to dry up.
Oh, thank God for that. Oh, this is a fucking nightmare of a damn fight.
And then Drizzt immediately stands up, pulls his hood off, and runs his fingers through his hair. Huh. Well then. What?
Seriously, just puts her sword away and just like, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I actually could not have done that better myself.
Time to do experience points.
Yeah. All of it goes to Drizzt.
Right, all of it goes to Drizzt, basically, as he 1v1's the actual boss.
Question. With everyone, with Virgil dying, does everyone's health return, or is that going to be a long rest?
No. That's going to be a long rest.
Okay.
Ooh.
That was so dangerous. That countdown of Constitution was freaking scary.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, you leveled. I think we all did, actually. Hold on.
No,
No,
I didn't.
I'm so bit low.
Did I?
You should. It's 1,000 and
Yes!
100,000 and maybe 500, whatever. 195.
That's the level.
The undead retreat as Mythical Hall has been successfully defended.
Yay!
Yay!
You did it.
Not
You
necessarily
did
by us, but like.
No, you helped. You helped. You helped
A lot.
We helped.
That felt so pathetic to just say like, we helped, right?
Hey. We got to do something not many people have got to do.
Fight alongside Drizzt to Orton.
Take down the boss.
Right, in person. We had front row seats, basically.
You know what? Seamus is like at 16th level. I think I don't get Magic Secrets till 18th. That's right. Okay, but you know what? Doesn't matter. My Seamus's charisma is now a 20.
Yay!
Yay!
So that means he gets 6 charges of Bardic Inspiration.
Ooh,
Nice.
beautiful.
I have been considering feats and feats. I'm like, no, it's time.
Now I just have to decide between a feat and getting a 20 in my charisma, or
Do
a 16,
it.
or a 16 in my constitution.
Let's be charisma bros with a 5.
Hey, I'm a charisma bro.
Yes, you are. But your charisma gets a plus 30, so.
I don't get a plus 30. I have a plus 15 to charisma things, except for deception. She doesn't lie very often, so. Like, yeah, she doesn't even have anything in deception. Like, she would be a naturally good liar, she just doesn't do it.
You're the charisma pillar that Seamus has to live up to.
I mean, not really. I mean, she's got expertise in it, and bards can get that too.
Take the compliment.
I was just saying. I mean, you convinced a gold dragon to make you her love muffin. I would like to say that is a pretty
You have a golden dragon.
like an ancient golden dragon, not like a fledgling. No, you have damn near a demigod as your girlfriend. I would like to say that your persuasion is pretty out of fucking this world. Okay.
Okay. Can we continue?
Sorry.
All right. No problem. All right. Perfect. So, with that, quite some time ago at this point when RAL's group was first like a aspiring young squire, couldn't be older than the age of 14, by the name of Virgil, joined their group. Looking up to Ariel as a role model and their hero, he assisted them through many a battle for countless years. And then upon the group's defeat, the young man, about 18, has grown rather large now, is now hanging defeated in the halls of Orcus. He has been tortured, but not too thoroughly as of yet. Many scars line his body and deep wounds across his entire body. And then, unlike everyone else, the young man, like everyone else, he couldn't go yet because everything in his mind, he was beyond concerned. Like, yes, he knew that more than likely his friends were dead, but he was worried about one of their party members, Mir, who he was beyond infatuated and in love with. He was the only one to actually escape confinement, break his chains, and even deal away with some of the guards. Running with nothing more than a spear in his hand, he's running through the halls, panting. Where are they? I hope Mir is. And then he sees the vision of Vesa standing before him. You definitely have a stronger will than the others. I'm impressed. Too bad it won't mean anything, though. As Virgil prepares for combat, a young woman steps out from behind the corner of the wall. Mir? Mir! Quickly! We can take him! I'm sorry, Virgil. What? It's over. Die. He drops his spear. What? As the power word washes over him.
Oh, that bitch. Power word kill.
As he drops to his knees and raises his hand. Why? Well, that saved some time. Get them to pick up his body. Father should have fun with this one. And as the young woman has a very pained expression on her face and turns and walks away.
Oh no. Oh, betrayed by the person you love.
So, Dagnabbit yells out to the walls, "Everyone, come back in! And you lot, come closer already!"
Seamus will look around. Doesn't like Seamus is looking around. And he looks at Drizzt, and looking at Drizzt, there's a look of just so much conflict and pain on his face. Underneath everything, that he just can't bring himself to say anything. But he will, motion like, "Well, you heard the lady. Let's do as she says." Aye, Queen Dognabbit.
Just as I believe, let me double check.
Oh, dagnabbit.
Dagnabbit, damn it!
Her name is Dagnabet.
Yeah,
It's
Queen
so
Dognabbit.
close.
Well, her father was General Dagnabbit.
No, her father was Dagnabbit.
General Dagna is a god among dwarves.
So Drizzt is 205. Is his actual age.
Ooh.
He's actually fairly young in terms of
He's
an
actually
elf.
very young, yeah. You see on his little token here?
Oh, baby elf.
Alright.
But he was around during the War of Many Eras. He was actually present at the battle where Seamus's grandfather failed.
I think Seamus was born by then too. I think he was a wee bit of a baby.
Yeah, he was babe that time.
Alright. So here's Dagnabet. Standing beside her advisor Tarva.
Fuck Tarva.
Wow.
Can I shatter this Anexia-looking bitch?
Wow! Wow!
That isn't even Anixia's picture.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Damn.
Good Lord Almighty.
So she bangs on her war shield as you all come closer, and Drizzt very graciously jogs forward and kneels. My queen. Ah, stop it!
Seamus is still bowing.
And he smirks as he stands back up. Now, all of you, come up here so I can give you a proper dwarven thanks.
Seamus is slow to get up, but he gets up. He's like, "Oh, you heard the lady. You don't want to say no."
Jelani,
Thanks.
is it safe to assume that Barash has been here at least one other time, considering he was a caravan guard from the tower, and he would have been all over the spine of the world in nearby areas?
You would have been here, but you would never have gone inside.
All right.
This right here is probably the furthest you've been.
Okay.
And you've never personally met the queen, definitely.
Well, I didn't expect to have met her.
Yeah.
I just meant to have. It was mostly just if he'd never been inside, it was gonna make a remark like, "Oh, strange to be back here." Kind of thing.
So you walk up the stairs in the very tall gate that they were defending, and you all walk up, and Dagnabet says, "Now, here you are, the FlyFires. It's amazing to see you all in person. Why, thank you, not you. Beat it."
Oh,
Wow!
Wow.
You've personally done enough. Yes, you're amazing. Now go off and be someone else's Hercules somewhere else.
Seamus looks like he's got something stuck in his throat. The potential of Drizzt leaving because he needs to say something and he just can't.
We would like to thank you, sir.
And then it looked like he has a very coy smile. It sounded like he was about to say something, and then when he said that, he just kind of turns and says, "Oh, well, of course, it's kind of what I do." But now don't take away the credit from all of you. Yes, he was obviously a powerful foe. We were just better.
You mean you?
No. Not that. I've had enough of that. Well, and he walks towards the queen. Well, I guess I'm going to be here for a bit longer. Didn't realize the undead were getting so rambunctious. Yes, yes, that's to say the least, apparently. Where have you been? I thought you were in Luskin. For a little bit. Had to take care of some matters. Artemis is not coming back. But on the bright side, I'm drawing a blank. 1 second. Yeah, there we go. Yes, but on the bright side, I bumped into Wolfgar. He's good. Now I just have to find my lost cat. But I'll pick that up in a little bit. I'll be by the tavern if any of you need me.
For training? Oh, always, please.
I'm feeling a bit free spirited today. Sure, why not?
Through the ring, everyone hears Versa go, really? Oh my god! But her face doesn't change, she just smiles and she winks at him. See you later, handsome.
And his eyebrows raise and he just gives a very coy smile and just says, indeed. And he just simply jogs off and jogs down the stairs.
Yeah, the party heard her fangirl, but she made it a point not to actually do that out loud.
Well, it is good that things did not go any worse. That attack was a lot more forceful than I expected. I suppose the rumors were true. The forces of Orcus have been rising.
Aye, and it's going to get worse. His son is already tearing loose around the Dales. He has the vast majority of the population of Tilverton under his capture.
Ah, it's in the Dales. So far away that we're still feeling his influence. Ah, it is true. Orcus's strength does measure far, but what else can you say when all it takes to enter his realms to simply die?
Seamus nods and Baz says, like, "It is a privilege and an honor, great queen, to stand before you."
Yes, I have heard of all of you. And of course, as well as you, Black Bladder, I'm sure your ancestors would be very proud.
Seamus simply kind of smiles at this, like, "I hope my granda smiles down. My dad can go give Orcus an enema as far as I care."
Well, we all choose those who are most closest to us, and it seems that you have all chosen very wisely. You all have very strong allies beside each other, and you have all done very well. Especially you, Vittersay. I was always wondering until the wayward Lord's Alliance child came marching here.
But, I'm sorry, my queen. Me?
Why, yes, of course. Who else am I going to be talking to? The white rabbits in the snow.
To that, Barash immediately starts looking around like, what? Rabbit?
I suppose you would rather fit in and all. But of course, I have been keeping a watchful eye. Any adventurer within our ranks always has the eye of many of the lords.
Well, I thank you, my queen. I do hope I'm able to serve effectively.
You hope? Fool, you already have. Take a look around and look at all that you have all accomplished. It's going to be rather a small sum comparison, I'm sure. But Tarva, yes, my lady. If you would, please take some of the some of the recent treasures we've acquired during some of the wonder trading events. I'm sure that they would have find most of the items we have quite useful. Of course, my lady.
Milady, I have to ask. Here in Mithril Hall, do any of the, are there any of those who keep to the faith of the keeper of secrets below the mountain?
What's his name again?
Dermathoan.
Yeah, yeah. Dumathoin.
Domathoin, yeah. Domithoin.
Yeah, okay, Dumathoin.
Dumathoan.
Dumathoin. Yeah. the under the mountain. I must admit, though, he is always within all of our hearts. But why are you specifically asking about that kid?
We're here on we were sent here on a we were sent here pursuing trails on at the task. We've heard of rumors of a smith of beyond all peer that is that hides somewhere within the mountains. Beyond that, we've been tasked to find the lost dwarven home of Thunderholm.
Thunderhome. Oh, it has been a long time since I have heard of that. I remember Madar telling me stories of the place.
It's believed that if we can find it, that our group may find the power to drive back Orcus's forces, even that of Veseth, his son.
Well, if you would find anything there of use, it would definitely be in Thunderhome. Do you have any idea of what you're going to do about the rune keys?
Aye, we're searching for those too. We've heard tale of one adventuring group that had one that was lost. We have a general idea, but it's on the search. We were told, however, that seeking the smith should be our first priority, and that we should come here to you specifically to ask for guidance and aid.
Aye, she says as she walks towards the edge of the gate and looks over up towards the mountains. I know of this blacksmith you seek. If you would like, I can easily mark his location on the map. We've visited before. He's about 8 hours away.
Seamus nods. He's like, that would be a blessing, lady. Like, it's obvious that he's still shaken from having seen Drizzt.
And I can do more than that. Or at least, I hope I can. Regarding Thunderhome, he who keeps the secrets of the mountain does that very well. And what lies in Thunderhome, as only the dead know. However, if you'd be so brave, you might want to go and, figuratively of course, ask them of their opinion. I'm speaking to you as my great uncle. He apparently had visited there before and actually had a room. It was believed it was buried with him. However, not much know the details. Oh, Tarva, as she's coming back. Do you have what they need? Yes, milady. I have everything. Oh, good. I'm hoping that I won't be troubling you, but I would like to ask you one more favor. It is never any trouble, my queen. Please, let me know what I can do to assist. Just to let you know, once you divvy out all the goodies to him, I would also like you to lead them down to the tombs when they are ready. So that once they're down there, they're going to have to find the Waybeard line. I apologize that I can't give you more direction, but the place is downright a maze. I've only been down there once myself.
It is more than we
may-
expected. Thank you.
Hopefully, there'll be there what you're looking for. I'm hoping that there'll be a keystone down there that will lead you into Thunderhome. smallest bit. If it can stop this, and she just looks around at the bloodshed from happening again, it'll all be worth it.
Seamus
So
nods.
reward time.
Yay, reward time. Chimney, freaking criminy. That's a lot of electrum.
Oh, cool.
The second visage and armor of shadows?
Ooh, armor of shadows. Oh. I have no idea what either of those things are. Yay!
I'm getting to work on math.
So it should be, was it 1,750 for each?
Yes, 1,750 electrum
Electrum.
each.
And,
That's exactly double my current amount of electrum.
and
Oh.
700 gold for everyone.
Holy moly.
So it's 700 gold for everyone?
Yes. This +1 style will allow me to. Ooh. Hello.
That studded armor would be amazing on, like, Varese, like, if you were wearing studded leather armor, that would be amazing for you, because it would give you a displacer effect. I mean, I could wear it, but at the same time, shit, I can just imagine our fucking, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the second visage would definitely work well with Versailles.
I think so too, and I think the armor of shadows has to
Sasha,
go
are
to
you unmuted?
Chaos.
I am.
I think the armor of shadows has to go to Chaos. Like, I almost demand the armor of shadows be worn by Chaos.
Yeah.
As far as
Chaos can
second
wear
visage, what kind of armor are you wearing, Zephy?
I have the +1 armor from the guy from Grimmantle.
So yeah, take this +2 studded take the +2 studded leather that gives you a displacer effect.
Thus, to
It's
wear
not,
all.
it's not a displacement effect.
Tuned,
Displacement
and
effect is blur. That's different.
True.
not laundry site
Thus, the
trimmer.
wearer always gains the benefit that requires an ally to be adjacent to an enemy, even if they are alone. Sneak attack, for example, would benefit. So it gives you free. You know, if only you were next to something, you can still get sneak attack.
Well, she also gets that
She
anyway.
already. The thing is, technically, Chaos could wear both of these and get benefits from both of them, but they're both armor, so you can't. Like, unfortunately, you can't really just strap, you know, armor on armor.
Yes.
Like I said, Seamus can wear one, but
The
I
problem that Versailles has run into is that if she runs into a like multiple enemies, then she's a bit fubbernut up. Because if she runs up into because the idea is that she and her enemy have to be alone.
Right.
In order
Whereas
for her to
this would give her sneak attack anyway. Yeah, this definitely needs to go on you, Zephy. The second visage.
Ooh.
Double visions.
Yeah, that definitely needs to go on you. This is great for the two of you. Holy shit.
Oh my god, yes!
Yeah.
So that's a +2 armor, and if you want to, actually, you can just sell that +1 armor, I think, because it's.
Nope,
Give it to freaking Balam!
That's what I was going
yeah,
to do.
Paul,
She's
yeah.
going to surprise him one night and just get in and show up in the nightgown. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I kid. She will spruce it up since she's been wearing it for over a year now. Get it cleaned. We are in a dwarven stronghold. I'm sure they can make it look a bit more masculine than what she probably has it looking as, and she will gift it to Balam.
Balam has +1 studded leather armor.
He already.
Balam refuses because it would not improve his AC.
Oh, it wouldn't.
No. So +1 set leather armor would give him an AC of 13 plus his dex, which would equal up to 16, which is the AC he has right now.
But is his current armor magic?
I don't think it really matters in that.
It doesn't really matter. If anything, that would make it worse.
His
Right now,
his dexterity is only like a 16.
yeah, his dexterity is a 16.
Oh.
His stats aren't very good, to be honest. His strength is 16, his dexterity is a 16, his constitution is a 17, his intelligence is a 14, his wisdom is a 13, and his charisma is a 9.
Huh.
So yeah, the guy's fairly mediocre in way of stats, but he gets multi attack and the radiant damage is nice.
Also, he is immune against disadvantage for attacking.
Yeah. So I mean, a guy is as a fairly well balanced NPC, all things considered.
His role is literally classified as hybrid.
You know who we could give this to if they're still around? Garagak.
I thought you were going to say...
Garagak doesn't really need to wear armor.
Garagak
though,
needs to remain unarmored.
We need to give it to Quarantine.
If Quarantine could wear it, we could give it to Quarantine if she's still
She would
around.
look like a redheaded Catwoman. Let's do it.
Yeah, we give it to Quarantine, and if she can't wear it, we can give it to Oopschlag.
Yeah, I suppose. We don't know what kind of...
To give it to Khalid.
So we can talk
I
about
don't know.
that later.
Yeah, we
Alright,
can figure that out later.
What's your math up, Chandler?
Kels already did it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh,
divided up.
here. Yeah, hold on.
Hang on, it was 1,700 or yeah.
1,750 electrum pieces.
Thank
There
you.
it is.
My brain stopped functioning and I couldn't even speak for a second. I was wondering.
It happens to the best of us. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Okay,
700
700 gold.
So I am at 3,000 again.
I finally have Electrum. Chaos finally has money in all shapes inside of it.
Yeah, that
So
actually that number doubled my Electrum.
So you can grab a hold of it and say pocket copper and throw coppers in things' faces.
Yeah! Except he won't because that's a waste of money.
Well, no. What you do is you tie a
Tie
hand.
strings, yeah!
Yeah, tie strings to it and then throw it pocket copper, and then like you just jerk it back because they're like bah, and they're blinded by it. They're
Make
distracted.
sure the good wraps around their
Alright,
neck.
so
Strings.
are we ready to continue?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You should no one has any lasting questions or anything like that.
Nope.
I put this armor of shadows in my pocket.
Put it on your body.
Your body, your food.
It's funny. The game thinks I'm over encumbered due to cash, but none of my cash weighs anything, so.
Alright, time to wear this armor, I guess.
Yeah.
Considering
it's stuff.
considering it's plus 1 armor, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got stuff. Yee. Thanks, guys.
Color me happy
Alright.
that you have armor.
Okay, so Tarva, because Tarva gave you guys the gear, and then she bows to the queen as the queen begins to walk off, and she says, "Now the tombs can be rather unpredictable. Not saying that there should be undead in there. The place is consecrated constantly. However, it can be simply surprising. Things have taken us by surprise there before, so I just want to make sure that you are prepared before we enter. Oh, and where are my manners? I am Tarva Reg, the wonderful Her Majesty's personal advisor.
Can Seamus roll an insight to see if this woman strikes him as duplicitous in any way?
Oh my god, dude. So suspect. What do you mean by duplicity?
In the sense, just like you.
Is she being snarky?
Like, it's gonna need to be a bit more specific.
Well, let me put it this way. Seamus is a dwarf. Anyone who is not a dwarf is automatically suspect.
Wow.
Wow!
But she's advising a dwarf!
In a dwarven home.
No,
Exactly.
no, I understand that.
She is a human advising a dwarf in a dwarf hold. That is like automatically places her on dwarven suspect list. But not to in the non-racist vein.
You admit it.
No, I mean it is what it is. It's just good old-fashioned, racism. But that laid aside, you ever get that thing like you walk into a room, someone's talking to you, and something about them just kind of strikes you off kilter, and you're like, I'm not sure if I need to be.
But what are you specifically using the insight for? Is all I want to know.
I'm using the insight mainly to observing her manner, the way she's standing, the way she's talking. Is anything in her mannerism giving Seamus something to feel like his feelings are justified, or that they are just good old fashioned down to the bone dwarven distrust of anything that's not a dwarf.
Okay, go ahead and roll an insight check.
21.
It's really, really hard. She has a very strong charisma, and you can tell. You can also tell that it seems that many gears are turning in her head, even though to the untrained eye, no one might notice it. It's really hard to tell what she is thinking, why, or how she's thinking the things that she's thinking. However, one thing that you can definitely tell by looking over this woman is that she is processing everything around her.
Okay. Seamus will say through the ring quietly, like, watch this one carefully. She plays with weighted scales.
Over the ring says, "You really think so? She hasn't done anything."
I'm a bard and I'm a dwarf. I trust my gut and my feelings. Just bear in mind.
Seamus, she is advising a queen dwarf.
Aye, all the more reason for her to be watched. As I'm saying, I'm not saying simply clap her in irons and send her off to the dungeons. I'm simply saying, be cautious.
Virse would like to roll insight to see if there's anything.
On who, Seamus?
No, not on Seamus. On Tarva.
Has Seamus taken leave of his senses?
No, she will give Seamus the benefit of the doubt because she wasn't necessarily looking into her, so she's going to.
Okay, go ahead and roll insight.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
26.
26.
She thinks a lot. One thing that you can tell from looking at this woman is that her charisma is very, very high. Even though she doesn't look necessarily physically skilled, her mind seems very, very well trained.
I was gonna say oiled.
So does Virse see a little bit of herself in this woman?
If anything, you see a little bit of Khalid.
Ah, interesting.
This woman is oily.
So you can tell it would be very hard to, like, with rolling that high to read her, you can tell that it's very hard to read her, and that she's doing it on purpose.
Ooh, very.
Huh.
Very interesting.
And more than likely, she's a woman with more than enough skeletons in her closet.
I say she'd be a woman that'd be very easy for her to get away with a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Seamus's thing. Is like, this woman could lie through her teeth to me, and unless I am completely on my guard, I would never know. And that bothers him.
Virse steps forward and she raises a hand towards Tarva. "It is a pleasure to meet you,
And
Miss
she
Tarva."
very gently grabs yours as well. It doesn't feel like she's very strong, and she gently shakes your hand. Of course, a pleasure. It's always It's always wonderful to meet someone else who's part of the Lord's Alliance. An absolute pleasure.
Mm. You will let me know if you need anything from me while I am here, yes?
Oh, I will. I will. Um, I'm personally from Luskin.
Ah, I can't say I've ever gone. What's it like there?
Well, not nearly as cutthroat as it used to be, I must say. It used to be downright horrid, until our wonderful before our wonderful High Lord Nestor Citus showed up and straightened the place out.
Nestor
I'm
Citus.
sure, I'm sure you would all love to meet her. She's a wonderful lady.
Well, if she's able to bring order from chaos, she is certainly someone I would like to know.
She's one of the High Lords of the Lord's Alliance, so I'm sure you'll meet her eventually.
Ah, yes. I am sure she would be someone I would want to know.
Something.
I caught myself. Sorry.
Yes, And Balam says, yes, I've heard of her. Lord Agalandar, is that you? Yes, the one and only pleasure to meet you, Miss Reg, was it? Yes, Tarva Reg, at your service, my lord. Quite. Shouldn't we go to the tombs?
First, we're going to need to rest unless I'm going to burn the rest of my spells to restore a constitution. But first, before any of that, I have some business to attend to privately if you would all excuse me.
Oh yes, I have training to do.
Seamus will say through the ring real quick, like, lass, I need a moment with the elf, please.
Oh?
Seamus simply just nods, like his face says he's not giving any more information.
Barash will pat him on the back.
Why are you hiding things from us, Seamus?
As Seamus is trudging off towards the tavern, he's going to say, I'm hiding nothing, lass. It's just something I need to do alone. I'm sure he'll tell you about it himself.
Right. As you wish, Seamus.
Thank you all. I shouldn't be long. So, Seamus is going to head to the tavern.
Can anyone else not hear him?
I can't hear him. If he's saying anything, I can't hear him if he's saying
Yeah,
anything
one
after that.
moment here. One and only. There we go. This is okay. So you got, well, Seamus in this case. You go off to the depleted camp.
I've always liked that word.
I'll say once there, if Seamus can spot out the elf before he goes to speak to him, he's going to ask for 2 skins of the tavern's best elven wine, like the top.
So, Drizzt is partaking in some nice cold water, and as you approach, the bartender says, "Elven wine. Don't get a lot of requests for that one. Now, if you would like that to be 5 gold a cup.
5 gold a what?
A cup.
It was like, what would you charge me for 2 skins?
Let's make it easy and say about 50.
Seamus will just plop down the 50. Done.
And goes ahead and prepares the stuff and just kind of like peeks his eyes open and looks over and says, that's some heavy heavy spirits you're chugging there, friend. You looking to wake the dead with them?
Not quite yet. I was hoping you'd walk with me. I have a favor to ask you.
Oh.
You wouldn't have happened to know the way down to the pedestal at Grom's Gorge, where the place where Bruno signed the treaty that brought peace with the many arrows, would you?
Can you roll history for that?
I mean, I can. This is like largely in Seamus's background.
That's a bit detailed though. Like you can. Yeah, you're fine.
I mean, it's in the Grom's Gorge runs through Mithril Hall, and the place where he signed the compact is up on a pedestal in the middle of Mithril Hall. For good or for ill, it's there as a marker of what happened.
Let's see. Now, just to run this through really quick, can you? Because I know the gist of it, but can you give me a bit more information about it?
Okay. The war
I know
with
the
many
idea of it, but I'd like to have information.
The war with the many arrows had gotten to the point where Obald was dug in, and it was either going Brunor was basically faced with the fact that none of the Silver Compact, none of the Silver Marches were going to come to his aid. They all said, they're like, we're not going to help you. And so it was basically an all or nothing fight. It was either that or make peace. And Brunor, with Drizzt recommended that he make peace, that they give peace a chance.
Yeah.
And despite his better judgment or his misgivings, Brunor signed the Compact of Many Arrows, which allowed the establishment of the Many Arrows Kingdom, which didn't last it lasted, but things fell apart. Drizzt had a big hand in fighting against the Orcish incursion, and when it fell apart, but that was the primary principal thing, is that that was the end. That was the basically quote unquote the end of that war.
But didn't that wasn't the actual end though, was it?
That was the end of that particular chapter of it. It began again during the incursion from the Out of the Abyss stuff that happened with.
Oh, so it was over for a long time then.
Yeah, it was over for it's been over for about 60 years now.
Okay, so they actually made peace with the orcs and they just backed off.
They made peace with the orcs. They backed off for about 40 years. But things kind of went south, and then the whole thing, the invasion from the Underdark, the stuff from Out of the Abyss happened, and then went back to war because the orcs sided with the Drow and the demons. They sacked Mirabar. They messed up Felbar and the like. The whole bunch of bad stuff happened, but it's over now. There's like one small compact of Many Arrows orcs that are still living in peace, because they are holding fast to what they believe was the true ideals of Obald, and they're trying to live by them. But largely, Brunor's signature on that paper was seen as a damning moment for him by a lot of dwarves, where some think that it was a moment of great strength. It's a very controversial thing, but it's still there.
I gotcha.
And the reason why he's asking Drizzt to walk with him there is because it has great symbolic meaning to Seamus as well. That whole conflict does.
And he just looks at him and says, "Why? Yes, I do."
Could you take me there?
Well, sure.
All right. Thank you.
As they walk, does nothing and just gives a smile and walks on. and walks down as pretty much majority of the mithril hall is just going down slopes and just further and deeper into the earth.
Yep. And as they're walking, Seamus will offer him one of the skins. Like, here.
Don't mind if I do. Thank you.
Alright, so he'll give up one of the skins and he'll take, like, he's got his and he's like makes several things like he's gonna drink from it, but never quite does. It's there as his crutch. You know, growing up as a bard, I didn't think that there was ever going to be a person or a child that grew up that didn't know your name, that didn't sing the great deeds of you and your friends that you've accomplished in your time, all the good that you've done, all the good that you've tried to do. Never seen so many people smile as when the songs of the heroes of the hall would be sung in a tavern. The cheers would shake the rafters.
Aye, those were the days.
Nobody ever tells you. Nobody ever tells the people all the blood, and the tears and the horror that come to make those tales. Dead friends, dead family.
They don't. It's what I try to tell some foolish young'uns who occasionally show up wanting to be just like the famous Ranger of the North. But those who stay, those who go on, despite the terrors, it's something to be spoken for their bravery. Can admire that.
Aye. It's not about those who. It's not about the blood and those who fall, but those who persevere and carry on the memory of those who do. That was what my granddad said. Let me know about when we reach, because Seamus is trying to wrap up to something. Like, it's like seeing that he's trying to work up the courage.
Drizzt stops and just leans over an iron rail, looking down, and he just points down. And you look down, you see a very bright spotlight over a large area. And he says, the actual pathway is blocked off due to political reasons.
Seamus nods and looks at it and just takes a breath like, you were here when it was signed. My granddad told me. You were there in the battle where he failed. I didn't know what you know about me. And Seamus is like got a death grip on the wine bottle, but he hasn't drank yet. It's taking all of it. I'm sitting here rolling quietly. I'm like, nope, not yet. He's like, my name's not Black Bladder. It's Copperjaw.
Argus Copperjaw the Third. Yes, I know.
Then you know then. My granddad never forgave himself for failing King Boo, for letting the orcs through the line. So many did. I knew that my path might take me to Mithril Hall one day. Grim. My heart soared with joy hearing that Gauntlgrim had been claimed for the Dells, and that Bruenor himself sat on the throne as he should. Never had the heart. Never knew if I could be forgiven. If my family could be forgiven. I hadn't set foot in my home in 70 years. Because they haven't forgotten. And they won't forget.
Of course they won't. Your grandfather failed them. Father failed them. And now you're off gallivanting around without owning to the horrors that your family has given the world. And then he instantly draws his two blades and holds them up to your neck.
Seamus kind of just looks at him.
Wouldn't I be doing the world a favor if I just
materializes and says, "No."
Seamus looks and says,
Shh! This is a moment.
Seamus
Hush up.
looks- Yeah, Seamus is like, aye. You might. So much of what I tried to do has ended in shambles. He'll say quite like, I didn't stop what happened to Waterdeep. My big mouth is most likely largely a part what's causing all the horror that's killing people here now with the demons in the world.
The two scimitars are very close to your neck.
I couldn't have stopped you if you tried. But if you don't, I'm not going to stop. My granda shed the name and said that one smile for every soul that was harmed. I hadn't forgotten. And it's not just for those who've fallen every day since. It's about trying, and I keep trying. I carry the shame every day, but I cannot let it stop me. I came to ask if you could forgive me, and if you thought perhaps that McKee.
And then he like lurches up of himself a little bit and says, "So even though you admit your failure, your ancestors' failure, your grandfather's failure, keep going. It's all that encompassing. It makes."
Because I wouldn't know who I was if I were to stop.
Continue. He sheathes his swords and just immediately go, "Ah." Well, that settles it then, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not actually quite sure what I would have said if you actually told me to kill you.
She was just kind of out of breath and just kind of laughs again. Well, I've shouted it enough in battle. I don't know. The big one would have been quite mad. I think all of them would have been.
Argus, we all make mistakes that we're not happy with. Can't save everybody. Hell, even what I'm doing right now is... I was reminded of that fact very recently. But not just you, but I mean, trust me, I get it. Not you don't choose your family. I understand. But you can't hold your life towards what you think happened. Because maybe if the truth comes out, it wasn't as...
Seamus, nods like, I cannot see the threads of fate. But he just kind of trails off, and then he finally pulls the stopper with his teeth and takes a small drink. Like, it's just a very small one, kind of clear his throat. I appreciate your words.
He seems deep in thought for a minute, just goes... I'm not the Red Wizard. I don't sit back and just let people run around ignorant and blindfolded.
Damn, that's tough on Elminster.
I met your grandfather.
Did you know? He never told me.
I'm sure he didn't. It was, a sordid affair. I was actually in that area. Your grandfather's innocent, Seamus. That wasn't his fault.
But he felt like he didn't see them.
Aye, and that's a very convincing lie he gave everyone.
What do you know, Will?
He didn't want to admit that he was betrayed by his own kid. He didn't want to. He didn't want to ruin what you and your father thought of their own. A bit pointless, since you are all damned for his decision anyway.
He was betrayed.
Aye, by some of the own watchmen that were around in the area. Shattered his horn. We dealt with them and tried to warn them, but it was too late at that point. They were determined to run Copperjaw name through the mud, so that you all had no right to be where you were. It's not about if they were right or wrong. I don't like getting messed up in family disputes. I have enough of that to deal with.
The stories hold true that he even had more than enough of that.
It was his decision, and I didn't stop him. All he wanted to do was strong misunderstanding. Whether what he decided to do was right or wrong, I can't honestly say.
Well, Amada's a damned thing that works for the Black Skulls now.
It was, I believe, that truth which might have drove him to that point.
Perhaps so. But as you said, I kind of live my life on what was and what may be. Though it's good to know. Like, it's very clear that Seamus' world has been very, very rocked, but he's doing his best to keep his footing. If you go by way of Gauntlgrim again, let my king know that the Copperjaws still remember. And are still...
Oh, I will. If he doesn't already. But regardless, I'm sure your group is wondering where you are.
Well, the lass will be coming to you. Keep a hand on your belt. She's, quick with the words, and she's engaged to Axel Knotts.
Well, well, what's a lucky woman?
What a lucky man.
Yes, well, keep up your quest, Seamus. I definitely have to admit that the journey to make everyone smile is not the easiest one, but then don't forget that you're one of those people.
Seamus nods and bows a, very thanks. Back to join the party, he will turn his wineskin over and just kind of let it all run out.
Wonderful. All right. So we're joined at the party. All right, guys, you good? Let's continue on with our adventure.
Yeah.
I guess for us, I want to meet with Drizzt for training while we rest to get our strength back.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna wind up fast forwarding through that, and I can just fangirl outside.
We'll play that later. I don't wanna.
Yeah.
We got about an hour left. I don't wanna.
Yeah. So I would say we should rest and then take up the directions into the tombs.
All right. So after you guys rest, is that right?
Aye.
Yes.
Get that health back, guys.
What lost health?
Well, constitution and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, be right back. I gotta really use the bathroom.
Yep. And then also fix Doomwing stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I gotta have his token to fix it here, so it was. I just had to kind of remember there was nothing I can change on the sheet I have for him.
All right. Well, if a sheet's fine, then as long as you've got his max stats, you should be fine. It's not. So, God.
All right.
Why do I want to hit her? Why? Why do I want to hit her?
Jeez.
She looks like a less sexy grandma.
less sexy, but still sexy grandma.
No, I mean, she looks like you know who I'm talking about when I say sexy grandma, because that's who
that woman. Oh.
Yeah. Beers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she looks like a less sexy Beers.
I have never been so uncomfortable. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh, Pierce, skunk.
Yeah, I smell it.
Everyone still here?
Yep.
The game had to run to the potty. Clarissa, are you still here? You've been quiet.
I'm here.
Okay.
I've just been
Good?
making certain that everything looks good on my side.
Do you guys have to like go and deal with the skunk?
There's nothing we can do other than spray for freeze.
Damn. All right. So Tarva is holding a torch as she leads you all deep under the Metro Hall. It is a bit dark, but the hall still receives plenty
Hang on,
of
Pierce did go. He just now came galloping back. Yeah, I'm spraying for you. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, skunk just sprayed under my side of the house, like under my room.
Ooh.
So Pierce missed everything you just started to say, Jelani.
That's fine. I can just hear the recap.
So, she's leading you all down, holding a torch, leading you into the tombs of Mithril Hall, and she says, "Now we do keep it a bit dimly lit down here, of course. They still receive non-dwarven visitors from time to time. The torches still should be well lit though, but this should help just in case." So she's walking down and leading the way.
Seamus gonna say, like, he's saying conversationally, like, must be, you hold yourself very well, or rather, you move about quite well for a human in a dwarf hold. I know that the enclosed spaces don't often well agree with humans very often. Though one could hardly tell by looking at you. It's quite impressive.
Why, thank you, Sir Dwarf. Let's just say human. And also, I'm quite used to the dark by now.
Now, what did she say about human? Because like you cut off like right before the word that you said before human.
She said, "I'm not your everyday human. I'm quite used to the dark by now."
Seamus will nod. It's like, mm-hmm.
Now this way, and watch your step. And you see countless and countless tombs and large entrances to mausoleums underground. Now, this here is the tomb. Like I said, it's been consecrated monthly. The recent events daily.
Charlie, you have to bring that back in here. Go ahead.
So we shouldn't have to worry about anything too dangerous. Unfortunately, as Milady said, it is a bit of a maze down here. I hope you don't worry too much. We're looking specifically for Grosk Waybeard, and just the Waybeard tombs in general.
Grosk Waybeard. I'll remember.
Would you guys like to start looking?
Before we start looking, if we're going to be investigating like in Dwarven Tombs, Seamus is going to burn a first level spell. And Seamus is going to burn a first level spell slot and shine his brain.
Alright, good call.
That way it's there in case of needed investigation checks.
Cool.
Versa, you're hearing everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, would you guys like to start your investigation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone roll an investigation check to find the Waybeard's tomb. I'm terribly sorry for the skunk.
Yeah, I'm spraying a lot, so you have to just give me a minute. I'm not at my computer.
19 investigation.
Let's investigate. Yeah. Wow.
So in Pierce's room, he
18
has
for
like
Cass.
the
18 for cast.
in Pierce's room. The only way I can describe skunk is there's
Burning
like a
tires and eggs.
well, there's a heavy smell and there's a sick smell. So Pierce's room has the heavy smell. My room has the sick smell.
So
That's.
trust Seamus to roll high in a dwarven tomb.
25, okay.
Wouldn't Seamus have advantage?
He doesn't need it.
But with,
You said
with
investigation.
Seamus, yeah.
Yeah, that's shit.
Okay, so with Seamus and Versailles, it takes you guys about 15 minutes, and you see inscribed in Dwarven, on pretty much like on the lower part of the ceiling, it says Waybeard Dwarven.
Okay.
I would like to check for traps.
Check for traps. Go ahead and roll perception for me. I'd like you to roll.
Okay.
Seamus will burn a charge of his
24.
staff and use detect magic as well.
Okay, how long is that gonna last?
Detect magic. Let's take a look at how long it actually lasts. Thank God for the SRD. Detect magic is a concentration of up to 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. So up to 10 minutes. You don't detect anything just yet. Vera say with that 24, you don't detect really any traps. However, it took about 15 minutes to find the place. You're searching for traps for about another 15 minutes. So far, you guys have been down here for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see any traps, Vera say, but you do see in can you read Dwarven?
Yes.
Alright, good. So if you know Dwarven, wow, that's fantastic. So you can, with that perception, you see a very large stone, coffin that says Grosk Waybeard on it.
That was the guy we're looking for.
Found them. You know, learning Dwarven to impress Axel was one of the better decisions I made.
Yeah, it's one of the best languages.
It is.
Seamus will
And Ballum just snickers to himself like,
What? Don't judge me.
Seamus will approach the tomb and lay a hand on it and say, Master Waybeard, I apologize for us disturbing your rest, but we do so on Queen Dagnabit's request. My blood is Delzin like your own, so please bear us no ill will for disturbing your place of rest. And then Seamus will carefully, it's probably a cairn, isn't it? Or is it like a big tomb?
it's a very large stone. It's like a very large stone box that's like built out of the ground.
Barash, would you help me to carefully remove the cover plate?
Her?
Okay. Someone has to roll an athletics check. Who is going to be the primary roller?
No shit, me.
Yeah, Barash.
Okay, roll with advantage, please.
I can do that. And 27.
Okay. Thank you, advantage. So, let me double check, I believe. Yeah, that would have failed otherwise. Alright, so
It's
you
very
go
heavy.
ahead. Yeah, the two of you push open. It takes you, again, about
2 minutes.
5 minutes to push this thing open.
Shit.
Yeah, we want to be careful not to push it all the way to the floor, because we're going to want to push this thing closed again.
Yeah.
We're not looking to
Very
leave the
cool.
tomb open and desecrated.
Okay, so you push Grosk's coffin open, and then you see, he has like some dwarven noble rags on him. He's pretty much a full-on skeleton, a little decayed, but mostly just complete skeleton. A little bit has gone down to bone meal. And at the very back of the coffin, where it's like right over his, there's a carving in Dwarvish, and it says, "To find the stone, thou must look within me."
Oh,
Seamus
I
is
hope
going-
that's not literal.
It is.
Seamus passes the runes, or his detect magic over the corpse.
Okay, nothing goes off.
Seamus takes a moment, then he reaches forward and he puts his hand, or touches the carving, and goes to see if it's a part of a slide of some kind.
It is not.
Okay, so well, that would have been too simple. But the staff is not detecting any magic. I
Would the
suppose-
runestone be considered magic, or is it just something that had something magical about it once it's next to something else?
Generally think, will that be something to you? Something that you would have to answer to last. I'm not too knowledgeable in the ways of the arcane. Closest I could figure is that it'd be like an enchanted item, something keyed to something else, along the lines of using a magic pass key to open a door that was shut tight with a lock.
Hmm.
But I suppose we can.
Can I roll Arcana?
About what?
Whether or not a runestone would be considered magical in the case of the detect magic spell until it was close to the thing it's supposed to open, or next to its trigger, and then look normal any other way.
Just your passive Arcana check, you would know that such things would be possible. However, it's really either or. There's no way to really know until you actually see it. That such a thing would be possible, however, is because there are some magical locks that simply require a non-magical key to fit into it.
Seamus will, look apologetically at, the corpse, and then he will.
Seamus,
very
before you... Let me look first before you do something, before it gets worse. Please. Dead bodies. I don't like dead bodies. I don't...
The spirit is going. Trust me, I didn't like opening the cairns of of dead kinsmen. But
Yes, but maybe I can look first before you have to dig your hand in there, only to realize that there was nothing in there, and you did it for no reason.
It's fine.
So what are you doing there, sir?
So Virse is going to cast light in the room, one, so that she can see a bit better, and then she's going.
Well, that's not necessary. It's lit enough.
Okay. And so she's going to try to look through. She's going to try to look through the body and see if she can't see where a runestone might be, so that Seamus doesn't have to go digging his hand through it.
So you don't want to touch it?
Not like reaching into it. She might move it like from side to side a little bit, but she won't be like digging her hands in. It's mostly like just looking from the outside.
So you're just looking it over?
Yes.
Looking it over for anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, she's looking for anything out of the ordinary, a switch, a compartment, the stone itself, specifically around the cavity area or the head area.
So you are looking up around the body, like at the body
Yes.
itself.
Yeah, she's
Okay,
looking.
go ahead and make a medicine check for me.
A medicine? Okay. I'm bad at this. Yeah, no. An 8?
So you look up and down, and you don't really, like, nothing seems out of the ordinary. And
Maybe 14 for
that was about another 15 minutes, so you guys have been down here for about 15 minutes so far.
Cool.
With nothing there, Seamus is going to very delicately go to inspect the body, or the remains.
So now you're expecting it?
I'm going to inspect the remains if Bressie hasn't inspected the remains themselves.
Well, she looked them over, yeah.
But I meant, like, actually, search... Or did she actually search inside the corpse?
Not inside.
No, that's...
Okay, so I have this, and it doesn't give me an idea of what exactly it means, because I feel like these are things you can normally, with these skills.
So, what's up?
So,
A hidden creature or object, make an intelligence check to uncover or decipher.
So, like, isn't that what they normally can do?
You can use a bonus action, make a wisdom check, to spot a hidden creature or object. What?
Right? I've been wondering about this feat. I've been wondering about this feat for a while.
Well, the thing is, the idea would be that in combat, rather than if a creature is actively trying to hide.
Wait, is this an action? Like, what is this?
It's a feat.
It's not a feat.
It's a feat that's given to you when you take up the Inquisitive archetype.
So it's not a feat.
It's not a feat. It's a.
Oh, okay. It's a feature. Gosh, it's a feature. Or a trait.
It's a bonus action. Oh, you know what? The thing is because usually you have to use an action for that.
Okay, so it just makes it. Okay, gotcha.
You can do that, but normally you would have to. Okay. Yeah, that's for combat, and you can use a bonus, because normally, in order to do that in combat, that'd be an action.
Okay. Alright, I'm glad I got that clarification, because I've always been wondering it is.
I got you. So, alright, so you look around the body, alright. Seamus, go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Okay, medicine check. Ugh.
Throws everyone off.
Tasty. It's funny, none of us.
Oh!
Hey! That's pretty
Wow!
decent. It just made sense to you in this moment.
Okay. So, you are looking through the body, Seamus, and it's unfortunate for you to say that you have seen a lot of dismembered corpses and also disemboweled people as well. So you have unfortunately become rather well acquainted with how someone's rib cage looks. And with this natural knowledge of yours, you notice that there shouldn't have been a discoloration in one of Grosk's ribs. Upon closer inspection, it is not a rib at all. It's not a rib bone at all. It is actually a very well-disguised lever.
Huh. So Seamus is going to carefully trigger the lever.
No, it's not it's like it's like a lever that is not in its place.
Oh. Well, Seamus is going to take it carefully then, just like...
Okay.
Take it like, this is not a bone. It's a lever.
Alright. So upon doing so, you hear Tarva gasp for a moment as you grab it. Magical blue and purple handprints suddenly appear all over the tomb.
Uh-oh.
Spooky.
Fiercely goes into dodge.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
They're just there. And Ballin, with his hand on his gun for a minute, relaxes for a second, says, huh. They don't seem to be, and he, like, rubs his fingers over the handprints. They're just markings.
Seamus would like to look a little closer at the lever first before inspecting the rest of the, before shining the light of his detect magic over the handprints.
A simple lever. Perhaps it goes somewhere.
Okay.
Thank you, AI.
And then he will, will shine the light of his detect magic over the handprints.
As you look over the handprints, you notice they have very faint traces of magic. However, there's nothing harmful about them. They are simply that. They are markings.
Right.
Do they seem to be leading anywhere?
They're benign. Yeah, like Jim is like to try to take a step back, take a look, see if the markings have any kind of, rational meaning, or if they just seem to be dwarven handprints.
Make a survival check.
Yay.
I'm gonna lucky that.
Ooh, that lucky. Okay. Make sure to dock that.
Yep, I did.
Okay. So you look over and you notice that the handprints are tilted in a certain direction. And if you follow where they are tilted, you notice that the handprints are kind of leading a path. Do you follow this path?
Yes, with lever in hand, Seamus is going to follow.
Is he gonna tell the rest of the group what's going on in his head, or not?
Well, Seamus is like, motion for them to follow, but he holds up the fingers like, don't distract me. I'm in the zone.
Okay.
Fiercely is gonna
He's in
try
his
to look
element.
somewhat for traps since Seamus is leading, so she can't see, but so well.
Well, unfortunately, since you're not ahead of him, more than likely wherever he goes, there's not a trap. Otherwise, he would have springed it by now.
Mm.
So, you follow the handprints, and they seem to lead you to an empty torch holder.
Seamus is like, oh, the handprints lead here. Seamus, can I inspect the torch holder to see if, like, there's anything that can be fitted into it, or if there's anything about the torch holder?
Put the lever into it?
Well, that was just it. The potential of putting the lever into it, but Seamus wants to wants to inspect it a little more closely, and just the area around it.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Work it.
So, since you've been down here, after spending that time, you've been down here for about an hour and 20 minutes in total. And as you look over the torch holder, that is going to be a fail. You don't really notice anything.
Oh no. Cox would like to investigate this torch holder.
All right, Kaus, go ahead. And
Can
roll
I
an
help?
investigation check.
Oh, never mind.
Kaus does not require your petty assistance as the private eye over here. I mean, he is an insightful one.
He's an inquisitor. He's an inquisitor.
He's an inquisitor. That's basically the class of.
Yep, apparently.
So you look over it, and Seamus kind of like looks at it. Doesn't look like he's really seeing anything. However, you notice, Kaus.
I notice.
You notice a hidden switch. That's very inconspicuous on the torch holder. Do you press it? do?
Yes, Caps just straight up presses it. Like,
So you
oh, but
push in the button, and you hear a little click, and then nothing really happens. But what you do notice is that now that you pushed in the button, there is where the button was. There is a hole in the holder.
Oh, we can insert the lever into the hole. If you point out the hole to Seamus.
Interesting. Yes, Seamus, come look at this.
Seamus,
Oh, good.
feel my hole.
It's like good eye, Case. Seamus is going to try to slot the lever carefully into the hole.
All right. So you put it in. It fit perfectly. You hear a nice click. Looks very solidly in there. It looks like it can only be pushed. It looks like it can only be pulled down.
Seamus will carefully pull the lever.
Okay. So
Don't do that, Chandler.
all right. So as you pull the lever down, you all hear moving stone as a statue of a stone dwarf next to a very inconspicuous wall begins to turn, revealing a pedestal about 4 feet tall, just about, and there's a slightly glowing, looks like a runic stone that seems very slender, very smooth on the pedestal.
Hey, we did it.
Seamus will go and lift the stone carefully. It's like, this might be what we're looking for then.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Yeah.
Do I get the challenge +4?
Yes.
I'm gonna lucky that. You know what? I'll take the
16.
the 16.
One moment. Seamus begins to glow for a moment
Uh-oh.
as you begin to turn into stone.
Oh, fuck.
Seamus is like, well, that's bad.
And you are restrained. Before you make your last saving throw, would anyone else like to do anything?
Is there any spells I can use?
You can actually use your lay on hands and end a magical effect on me.
Yep, I do that.
Really?
Yep,
Yeah.
I do that. I do that.
I would like to double check that.
Okay, it's
It's
a
a higher
portion-
level paladin thing.
Yeah.
I believe you. I just want to verify it.
Hang on, I'm getting it pulled up right now.
Before I
It's
just
not my lay on hands. It's my cleansing touch.
Well, cleansing touch.
You can use your action to end one spell on yourself or on one willing creature that you touch. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier. Regain expended uses at the long rest.
So
I
a
can use
magical effect?
Yes.
The spell.
Oh, so okay, so it's a magical effect. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you immediately grab him and use it. It's like, and the stone leaves from his body.
Nice. Good
Yeah, I'm just like-
save.
I just touch him in the forehead. Nope.
Seamus
That's
is
right.
like,
Everyone,
"What?"
I just nope.
Seamus takes a breath like, thank you, Barash. No.
You know, Seamus, you can get a bit ahead of yourself. If Barash wasn't here, that could have been the end of you.
Aye, it could have. Very well. Makes sense. It's fitting, as it were, as what it would have done.
Yes.
Because you're stone-headed.
Versa,
no,
do you have
it's-
anything to say?
She's glaring at Seamus right now, but she's like, after what happened earlier, she's just kind of like pressing her mouth together. You can, like, her mouth has literally disappeared, and she's just like holding it in, like, I'm not going to say it, but like, Like you can see like her hand twitching towards her, like twitching a little bit, like she might just like pop him upside the head really hard, like it's like.
Like, no lie, like if Barash wasn't there, he might have been toasted right there. If he rolled bad again, that could have been no more Seamus. Just does.
Could have been bad. Barash also has the spell dispel magic.
As well.
Spell magic does not work against petrification.
Just
Greater
lesser
restoration.
Greater restoration does. Or greater restoration does, and I have greater restoration.
So you would
Well,
have been.
that wouldn't have helped you.
Man.
That was close.
Could have been bad.
All right, well, wonderful. You
are not dead.
You have solved Grosk's riddle, and you have the rune stone to enter one of the entrances of Thunderhome.
Just gotta figure out which one.
Do the runes are the runes? Is the rune that's written on it, or the runes? If there are multiple, are they one? Are they dwarven? I would assume they are. And
yes.
If they are they? Do they say anything intelligible, or are they in the language of magic?
It just says enter.
Enter. Well, there's one.
It's my understanding that's all we really need.
Aye, but the problem is, the entrances, there were multiple entrances. Or rather, we were given to believe that there were 4 entrances. This one is only keyed to one door. Finding that one door take time.
This is something to consider a bit later. It's not like we have to deal with 20 of them.
Aye. Barash, help me, return the...
slab.
Well, yeah, return the slab and, if you push the lever up, can the whole thing be reset?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Seamus wants to go and reset everything and then return the lever, if it can be returned, to the corpse.
Okay. You guys spend some time putting everything back to the way it was. You guys have been down there for a little over an hour and a half.
And Seamus will prestidigitate the dust around to obscure their passing.
And then Tarva says, holding torch, she says, very, very well done. I must say the obstacles were a bit more difficult than I was expecting. I was expecting other better resistance, but I was, in all honesty, worried that something might have slipped past the consecration. Regardless, I am very impressed, all of you.
These people have my back. I've never known my family to fail me.
So we're in the middle of it. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barash uses Divine Sense.
Okay. You don't really detect anything.
I say, well, he can tell that the place has been consecrated or desecrated.
You can tell it's been consecrated. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. All right.
Nothing is good.
Okay, well, then we can return to the Queen and accept the gracious gift of her marking our maps. Then, well, an 8-hour trip is an 8-hour trip, and into the spine, no less.
That's still much less than we were looking at before.
Aye, it is.
I've personally traveled there myself. If you really need to, you can easily reach there and speak to the man in less than a day.
Aye,
Oh,
fair enough. Well, as it stands, we'll most likely do that. Let's go see the Queen.
One thing. Give me a few minutes, gentlemen. Lady.
Okay.
Versi is going to track outside and see if she can't find the horses that we left outside since the battle, and see if they're the horses. See if they're still okay.
Well, they would have starved.
Well, no, she doesn't know. Like, we left them tied to trees, and we, like, rested and everything else.
Probably would want to go with the group, because that's a little bit out.
Yeah, we'll go get the horses and bring them in.
Yeah.
Well, she's just trying to see if they were okay. Like, did she hear, like,
Yeah,
wolves?
they're fine.
Okay, that's all she wanted to do. Was just to, like, are they okay?
No.
Yes, okay, cool.
They're all undead now.
Don't say that.
Alright. So, you guys go to the queen and then possibly go to the blacksmith?
Yep.
Alright, perfect. So, you
Well-
pretty much,
Seamus will also quietly inform the queen of their success.
yeah, I mean, she's very open to you guys. I mean, you guys are adventurers of high renown. You've helped defend Mithril Hall, and she's not too terribly busy at this precise moment. So, you just let her know she's fine. She'll make sure that the place is well taken care of, and she wishes you all on your way.
Oh, that's right. Is Mithril Hall known for having mithril? Is that why it's called
Yes.
Mithril Hall? Okay.
Yes.
So I need to find somebody to get me 8 mithril bars.
Ay, 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 that's a tall order, lass. That'll be about 8 meters bars. Jeezers, meezers, my beardsers.
Jesus, Meezers, my
8
beards.
large mithril rails. Sorry. Rails. Rails.
Well,
8.
that's like 8 times the normal load we carry. Well, I suppose that'll have to be about 40 gold.
I wonder how much if we could pay to have it shipped to Vonathan Dawn's Lights Tower and
We're closed for business.
Oh, okay. So 40 gold. So I'm gonna.
Oh man, can I get mithril arrows here?
Scratch. You know what? Scratch that. That's 200 gold.
Oh,
All right.
You're
So
okay, Cows.
is it possible to?
what a jump!
Can I make?
that
A
is
mithril right there.
that is
I
200
w-
gold.
What I would, that is 200 gold. Can I
Yeah.
then make it 12 mithril rails? I want to see if he can't make a third desk.
Okay, that'll be 300 gold.
Perfect. Would you happen to have a large stone desks? This is a dwarven hold, so I imagine they probably do.
I mean, we do. That would be if you're really looking for something nice. 25 gold a desk.
Give me 3, please.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
All right, so it's 300 plus 75. Okay. Do you happen to have any crystal balls or pounds of pure filtered sand here?
The fuck no.
That's okay. That's okay. So, oh wait, hold on. I need half circle stone desks. So, I got 3. I need 4. Okay, so that's 2. Okay, so I need 6 of those in total.
I think those are what, 25 gold?
25 gold.
Each?
Yeah. So that's 150. 150.
Yep.
Okay.
Deduct it properly.
Yep, I'm adding it. I'm at 450 right now. Okay, and yeah.
Ooh,
Is there anyone who happens to make jewelry here as well?
What are you looking for regarding jewelry?
She's going to be commissioning her ring for Axel.
Okay, well, we can cover that later.
Okay, I'll do that later
Just-
then.
Just let me know.
Would you
Okay.
happen to sell any mithril shields?
I think it is Mithril Hall. I don't know what Mithril does.
Just makes it lighter.
I thought it might make it better.
No, it just makes it's a lighter thing to get the same thing, so you don't get like the disadvantage on like on stealth checks and stuff.
Yeah, that's
It's
the thing
just
is,
lighter, that's all.
Never mind.
yeah, Mithril's called true silver, but it's still basically silver.
I mean, it's the exact same. Give you the same AC bonus. It would just it's a lighter, so it's a lighter load.
Yeah, my shield's better than a normal shield already, so that's fine. I was just hoping to up it again.
Okay, cool. So
Plus,
you guys go off
having
to see the
something else
blacksmith.
would be easier to draw.
So you guys go off to see the blacksmith.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go see it. I have no faith that it's this easy.
Wow.
Zero faith that is this easy.
If it's that, if it
But
really
they
is that
literally
easy,
said
I'm
that.
I'm gonna end up, you know, if this gets to the conclusion tonight, you're going to befumble break me.
Befumble break Barash.
Barash is going to shut down and not be able to comprehend for a little while.
I'm going to be befumbled. It's a bumble. Alright.
The bumble was befumbled and the bumble was.
The bumble was befumbled and I was befuddled of the bumble.
Stop.
The bumble lives.
We only have but so much time. I want to see if we can do this.
That's okay. If we have to, we can go just a little bit longer, just not too much longer. Because I'm sure you guys are tired. So.
Me? No, I don't even get off of work yet.
No, dude, it's gonna be hours before I go to bed.
Okay. Well, Abram, I'm sure you're exhausted. Well, we'll be wrapping up in just a little bit. Let me just get some really things. This isn't gonna take too long.
I was under the impression that if Abram went to sleep tonight, Pierce was gonna put Tabasco sauce in his butt.
No.
I didn't say Tabasco. I said ghost peppers.
Oh, that's even worse.
That he says like excited.
Ghost pepper.
He's like, hey,
I absolutely love spicy things.
Oh, we had Carolina Reaper wings while.
They were so good. Oh my god.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
We had Carolina Reaper wings and they were delicious.
Did you not die?
And they used a very small amount. They were, don't get me wrong, they were hot as fuck, but they it's not like I ate the damn pepper.
Yeah.
It was sauce made of the peppers, so but it was hot. It was really hot. Don't get me wrong, but it was so good. they were some of the best wings I have ever had. Anyway, continuing on, we can talk about that later. So you're walking up. The wind is blowing hard as the usual in the spine of the world, but not as hard as it usually would. It's just not. So you're walking up. You're following the map. You travel for about 7.5 hours. Well, are you traveling on horses?
No, I would assume we're traveling via foot.
It's rather steep. So you're traveling uphill for a while.
I'm on Doomwing.
Okay, so a bit easier for you, but you guys are going uphill, and you travel for about 7 to 7.5 hours, and you see a plateau and a cave, and light is coming out of the cave.
I'm gonna...
Do you go ahead and go to the entrance?
I will.
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the wind's blowing, and you look inside, and you see a steady fire go.
Ooh.
And you see like his back is turned, and you see a very, very big and bulky figure just sitting on like a stool that's far too small for him, and it looks like he's drinking some sort of soup. And you can just feel the heat coming from the area, and you see a very large forge that seems to like come out of the mountainside. And like, to suffice to say, it looks like you can see almost this whole person's life within.
Hello there, Forge Master.
And the person simply turns their head for a moment. You can definitely tell that they're a silver dragonborn.
Jeez, do they all just come this big?
And this
Is he bigger than Barash?
This one stands up and he's about 7'9".
God dang, he's bigger.
I can't hear it.
He was 7'9".
7'9".
Oh my god.
Nope, he's 7 foot. He's 7'9", Chandler. Silver Dragonborn.
Oh, he's even bigger than me!
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm like,
that's a biggin. Oh, that's a
he's
biggin.
Big Daddy.
Oh, you're a big bear. Oh yes.
I'm the biggest of my brothers too, or my brothers and sisters.
Oh, you're a biggin. You're a biggin. Oh gosh.
And then he stands up. You see how tall he is.
She just starts to crane her head back. Oh, yep. Yep.
And
You're
then
a biggin.
He sets a blacksmith hammer to the side. You just see the blue eyes peering out of the dim light, and just boom, 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 as he's like walking to the entrance.
Thank God it wasn't this easy.
Broke Palin. Okay.
I don't need to play the lotto today. Okay, gotcha.
And then you see this behemoth of a dragonborn.
Ah!
Wait,
The Havrix Nerexius. Or Havrix, if the B is silent.
No, it is Bavarox.
Bavarax Nerexius.
he's my original alignment too.
And he looks and he blinks and he looks down at all of you and then he just says, "Yes."
Like, well, Barash, do you want to introduce yourself?
Barash will look at and be like, "Hello, I am Barash Nerexius of the FlyFires." And then he'll, put his hand out for each of y'all to introduce yourselves as well.
Seamus Blackbladder of the FlyFires. A pleasure to meet you, good sir.
You're a biggin. Sorry. Virse. At the Matina. I always thought Barash was the biggest that they actually came to. Huh. What do you people eat up here?
Rabbits.
Really?
Say anything?
Cal's just kind of like,
Kelsey's looking back and forth between Rash and Bavarax and nodding his head.
Barash will poke his thumb towards him like the shifty one's Kaus.
Yes, hello. I am Kaus Saldeman. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
and then, like the three of us say, a humble rogue.
I am a rogue.
No.
Alright. So he looks down at all of you and says, "The FlyFires. I've heard of you. Nerexius, it is true." And he kneels down in front of Barash.
Barash is gonna look confused. Like, what's happening?
Not on one knee, he's on two knees, and he's just looking at you, and he says,
Not that much shorter than him, shit!
No, it's a father kneeling in front of his son.
and he kneels down and looks up at you and says, "Nerexius, our name. You have my name."
Then Seamus is like,
Oh. Barash Nerexius.
Barash is gonna look confused. Barash is gonna look confused and like, are you an older of my clutch?
I thought you and the rock were lost. And the others. And then he stands up and then completely encompasses his body and hugs Barash and says, "Son."
Fiercely goes, oh,
Barash is gonna stand there like completely befuddled and go, what?
Barash, this
you have a father.
is your father. This is your father.
But, what? No, but, what?
Well, hug him! Hug him! He's happy to see you! Hug him!
Barash's arms will slowly come up to embrace his father, and wrap around his father to hug him back, and he's still just gonna be sitting there like, going, but, what, I did, what?
You have a father, lad. And he lives.
And doesn't want to kill you.
Eventually Barash takes a breath and goes, why was I never told of this?
And he pushes you back for a moment and says, well, I would assume that you would have known that you had a father. How else would you figure that you would be here, if not for me?
He's got the point, you know.
Hey, Barash, a mother and a father are kind of...
No, okay, Barash is gonna shake hang on. Barash is literally just gonna shake his head and do his hand like in the dismissive thing, like, no, nobody in my generation knew their parents. It just was. Oh, shit, I can't think of her name.
Vidania.
Vidania raised us all.
Afraid you have things a bit turned around, my son. As great as the Elder was, there was only so much she could do. And he issues you all to follow him inside the cave.
Seamus will. He's just kind of like gobsmacked at the same time, absolutely delighted.
Barash is like a mixture of confused, angry, and more confused. And just gonna kind of dumbfoundedly follow.
We're going to have to invite him to the wedding, Barash.
Unfortunately, your mother did not survive Laroc's birth. However, the others of the clutch persisted. I needed to find myself after her passing. More than likely, you were surrounded by others of a similar situation. The tower was not the safest place as we had hoped. However, Vidania, our guiding elder, taken in from us, now she took us in. She didn't have to stay, but she did, and became the best of us. It's only fitting that you would find her as your mother, as I'm sure many of us did. But there were many other elders, of course. She just shined above the rest. She had a habit of doing that. I, on the other hand, felt rather inadequate. So I served our people in other ways. I left. I did. You all in her very capable hands, and the hands of the other elders of our tribe. And I plotted and I applied my trade as a blacksmith. I tried to become the very best. And unfortunately, I lost sight of where the money was coming from. At some point, the trade was no longer going to the tower, and it took far too long for me to realize it. By the time I had gotten there, it was already overrun with cultists.
you are all dead.
I was being knighted in a nearby town. I came back behind the rest of the caravan to find nothing but death. I wandered for days, finding and burying the dead, calling out to Bahamut. I could find no sign of life until traveling members of the Church of Hoar found me, took me in, taught me the ways of a paladin of vengeance. I spent the next couple years hunting cultists, killing hundreds. Then I found this lot. And eventually, through their acts of kindness and familyhood, I found a new way. A way to redeem myself. A way back to Bahamut. I am now a paladin of devotion to him, as I should have been. But, if I'd even known you existed!
And then he grabs you by his shoulders.
He's just gonna hit Barash starting to cry.
And he grabs you by the shoulders and said, "If I even knew that you were alive."
Why was I never told you were alive in the first place?
You should have been. With neither me or your mother being there, it's hard to explain.
Tell him Larok is alive.
I found Larok. He had been taken by the cult. And with their help, we went up there. Killed many more. Yeah, he was taken by the cult.
I know,
he was taken brainwashed by the cult. And with their help, I saved him.
Larok is alive as well. I saw many of the others' bodies, but not yours. Not you two. So I had hoped. This is good. This is more than great.
Anything he said I missed?
This is good. This is more than great.
Yeah, he said, this is good, this is more than great. To think that you're here now and such an accomplished adventurer. I'm sure wherever our elder is, she is very proud of you.
She is, you promise.
Barash is gonna go from being like crying happy to just like serious face, like about that.
We've found information as to the Lady Amakir's location. It's not good.
The Dragon Gate.
Aye.
The Red Wizard told me.
Ulminster told you. That's sneaky.
I am aware. And though I am not defenseless, I'm afraid my part will have to be here. However, knowing that you are adventurers, and not just any but the FlyFires I have heard of, that makes me more than happy. I trust that you came here for a reason. Please, let me know what I can do to help.
We were told that you are a smith of peerless skill, and the Red Wizard told us that we should seek you out. Orcus and his ilk are thick upon the world. We came into possession of his wand and seek to destroy it. And as such, he seeks to destroy us and all other good innocent folk that fall into his path.
So it is either you or the innocents, then. As he says, he stands up and looks out into the snow.
his son has a good many people dear to us, and some of your sons are retainers as well.
Close friends.
We came hoping, perhaps, that we might avail ourselves of your mighty skill to better equip ourselves and prepare for the tasks and trials ahead. I can think of no one better, no one more fitting to stand as an ally against the darkness than the father of my closest friend.
He's looking out at the cave into the snow, and he says,
Usually, no matter how dire the risk, I would always be reluctant. Ever since learning of my tribe's destruction, I found little point to do more than simply survive. I would have turned you away if it had been anyone else.
he says, as he turns back to you and says,
But now I know my tribe is not gone. Of course I will help you.
Seamus nods and then smiles to Barash and says in his mind, like, your family lives. This is good lot.
Father, I need you to know. And as Barash will point around to the to the rest of the FlyFires again. In my time of suffering, these have also become part of our family. I know you might not know them, but I ask, consider them.
You still there, Chandler?
You cut off after consider them. No, he cut out. You cut out after consider them.
Did I cut out?
Yeah, you said consider them, and then there was silence.
Consider them family because they have been such to me.
Gotcha.
At the end, they are the ones that brought you to me. There is no reason for me to do any other. Now, to let you know, I have scarce materials, only that I can find around the mountain. I can make them excellent weapons and armor, but there's so much I can do with trash.
Seamus nods.
What do you need?
I have some ideas for all of you that might be able to help. For you, a paladin of Bahamut, there's something special. You all being adventurers, I'm sure you would be able to get them. Of course, I would need some basic money for the time effort used. But once you see what I require, the money will be the least of the problems.
Well, given the fact that like odds are good, we'll have to track all the way to the abyss before this is done. Well, if you tell us what you need, we'll get it for you.
Here.
Right?
Link.
An Aramis' bow.
What?
That's been blessed
By a being of pure vengeance.
Vengeance? What?
The
What?
oath bow. Blade of sharpness.
Ooh. Someone would like cantrip cast on it. 2 or higher. Oath bow, huh? Shut the level off.
Mesoloth chitin!
Wait!
Ha!
Whoa, we've got that now! We actually have that right now! Because Balam has holy water, we've got a shield, we've got 500 gold pieces, and because we almost died for it in Gehenna, we have Mesoloth Chitin.
Hand that one over right away.
I even have an extra shield on me still, too. But the question is, do I hand over, is that the special item for me, or... Because I don't know if I should hand over the normal shield or my extra special shield.
The
Well, you can
final
have-
being
here's the
the
thing,
thing
you
of the
can-
oh jeez.
I know the brain. Nair.
One mystery.
You're gonna go ask your girlfriend for a fang?
Maybe she had a tooth that she needed.
Or we could just go kill some evil dragon.
Yep.
You know what?
I mean, it would probably be far easier to ask her for a fang to be completely...
Two chunks of adamantine.
We have Tilverton, so, I
Mithril
mean...
blacksmithing hammer and one question.
Okay, so Fang of an Ancient Dragon, a chunk of adamantine... Two chunks of adamantine, lovely. A mithril blacksmithing hammer, well, we have Mithril Hall right behind us, so I'm sure that won't be the worst of problems that we'll have.
What is the question supposed to be?
So, after you look at this, you look at your father and he says,
To make a truly strong weapon, something different would have to be placed into it. But I'm not quite sure. To make such a weapon would be my life's work complete, almost. Give me the ingredients on that, and perhaps the last ingredient will come to me.
Barash is gonna hold up a finger to him and just pull out the Lost King of Justice. Would you do something with this?
he takes it and looks at it and says,
Strange gem. Definitely has strong magic into it. Could possibly put a weapon into it. Don't know if it would be wise.
he says as he gives it back to you.
Damn. Okay. It's like, well, as of this one, I actually currently have all of these ingredients on hand. I have Mezzaloth Chitin, a vial of holy water, and even an extra shield right here.
If you're ready, go ahead and give me the items. It is a very useful shield for someone who finds themselves alone in combat.
Huh.
I hand him the ingredients.
I have a question for you. And mind you, understand if the answer is no, as it strikes me as perhaps it might even be considered a selfish request. But you wouldn't happen to know know how or have the ability to make a dwarven thrower, would you?
Nardas.
I'm not quite sure. Perhaps if I look into it, I might know something of it.
Seamus nods. My granddad carried one. It was stripped from him, and as I didn't think I'll be getting it back anytime soon, I'd like to carry one if at all possible in his memory.
I have to go down to Mithril Hall to get some supplies at times. If necessary, I'm gonna go down there and ask about it. I'll let you know in time.
You might not want to stay up here by yourself, but for so long. The undead are specifically angry with us. So...
And those close to us.
You would be a prime target out here by your lonesome. I would much rather you be in Mithril Hall until you were prepared, and to have someone with you. Someone you could trust, or someone's.
Well, it might be a trip, but I've heard talk of dark times lately. Normally I would stay, but...
And he looks to Barash.
There's more of a reason to care about my life now.
Next time we go to the Harper Hold, I'll have them send word to Lorak. I'm sure he'll come running to see you.
You know, I could just bring him here, you know? Fierce is choking up.
Yeah, we do have to find him. Like, Larok's out searching for who he is as who he is as a person. But
maybe being together would do you both well.
Perhaps it will.
Sophie, I'm with you. I'm sorry. I haven't been sobbing openly, but it's been a close thing.
Father, I need you to know, one of my life's ambitions is to someday rebuild our...
And he stands back up and says,
And I shall hold the stone and hammer with you, my son.
Oh God.
Hold me.
Alright.
Barash is gonna hug him again. This time he's gonna like full force hug him. Just.
Beautiful. Touching. Absolutely beautiful. Now to ruin this moment.
I hate you, Jelani.
It's okay, Zephy. We can sit under my weighted blanket and like share tissues.
I'm gonna go grab some like hot chocolate or something.
I know.
God.
Elsewhere. Just to let you know, you guys know I'm not gonna kill his dad or anything.
Elsewhere, yes.
Elsewhere. In Shadowdale specifically. Come on, you didn't forgotten about this, did you?
No, I've just been waiting to see how bad the damage is.
Here we go.
I would have hoped that Garagek would have listened to Barash when Barash said, "If anything seems off kilter, you leave and you go talk. You leave and you go talk to Ubshlek, who is here with, and he has a."
Have him send a message to us.
Yeah, well, hang on. So you remember the scene that happened earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's me, your leader.
It's me,
Hello, friends.
your leader. So it comes out, says, friends.
Yeah.
And Quarantine looks at him and says, Who are you?
Of course, as soon as he started talking, I cut out.
It's okay. Quarantine's asked who this guy is. It's the same scene.
It's basically like picking up where that scene left off. Well, isn't it obvious? I'm your leader. As his eyes glow bright with a dark sigil in his eyes.
Oh, it's the goblin. He's holding the book.
Oh, damn.
Well, if you are a leader, I shall follow your orders. Ah!
Oh, Garagek, no.
I mean, he's following his orders.
He is.
I shall kill you.
Strike you down where you stand.
No, none of that. I redact that. and he snaps his fingers, and Garagek shrinks down to the size.
Oh, Garagek!
Oh.
It's part of the it's like, that's actually one of the things the imprisonment spell can do. Oh god, it's bad.
Just set it to Monday.
As Garagek is punching his shoe.
Very beautiful.
And he just goes and gets like and picks up a jar on the shelf and just kind of like puts it on him.
Oh, Garagek.
And Quarantine says, "You're going to pay for that," as her claws start to glow, and then the man simply raises his hand as pure sunlight comes out of his hand.
Oh, that's awful.
And she just and she immediately just falls to the ground. So ironic, the thing that you love hurts you so. A little tragic, isn't it? Oh. And she's just like grabbing her face and just completely in the fetal position on the ground. And then he just like rummages through the book a little, like, So you hit. Damage allies. What else should I do? I know. Oh, well, my manners friends. I am no longer a zigzag. You should call me by my proper name, Ariander. Oh, it just rolls off the tongue. Feels so good. Feels so good. Now, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted by my companions? Sorry about that. Yeah, I understand that you're not quite in the mood for chit-chat, so I hope you do find it fine that I split from the party a little bit. And he just steps over quarantine. Now let's see here. Fool, abrasive, volatile. Oh, you don't know the half of it, sister. You think I'm bad now? Well, and he steps out of the underground laboratory. Let's see what happens when I burn your precious little house, bitch.
Oh.
And he teleports away.
He's going to burn the Knots Manor.
How bad can it possibly be?
Oh my god, he's gonna attack Axel's house.
This is why
Daddy's there.
This is why I didn't want that little shit in my house. This is exactly why I didn't want that little piece of shit in my
Maximus
house.
is there.
Yeah, I'm perfectly aware of who was in there. It's why I didn't want zigzags fucking in my fucking house.
Now, one second. One second. I know you're all worried. Just one moment.
Oh no, he has to come to the party. He's a companion. Fuck all that.
He's become a one-slay.
Loading. Little computer's loading. Okay. All right. So, meanwhile at Neverwinter. Oh yeah, we're not done yet.
Yay!
Oh no. We are not done yet by a long shot. So, meanwhile, in Neverwinter, the magical circle in the Lord's Alliance base glows bright as Lord's Alliance member. Say, there you go. Say Sabib.
Oh, it's a sting blade.
Peers along with Daggle Neverember.
My countrymen.
Wonderful spell, Sabib. Very well cast. Thank you, my lord. We should. Axel should be here. He's traveling rather quickly. Priest, how was your trip to Luskin? As well as could be expected. The place smelled like piss, and the people just as bad. However, I must admit, Nesticitis has done well for the place. It is a lot. Now, I do look forward to your captain's report. Yes, it went a bit better than expected. I doubt that. And as they go through the halls of the base, Axel shows up and gives a salute to Neverember. At ease, Captain. Come. We ought to go to the castle. And as the three of them exit the base. Maximus actually runs in front of the door. And he's breathing heavily. His hair is a bit disheveled. And Axel, with surprise, says, Maximus, you're away from home. What's wrong? I'm terribly sorry. Lord, Neverember just solemnly nodded. Like, the estate it's under attack. Under attack, Neverember says. And Axel just says, what? By what? Hey, mad mage, He showed up hurling curses, said something about Lady Virase. Where's father? He was dealing with him right now, but he was casting a variety of spells. Go inside. We'll handle this. And Maximus just nods. I'm I'm terribly sorry, Lord. I need to see what's going on. If it's a mage, it's no, that's fine. I'll go with you. Are you sure? Yes. Shabib, stay here and look after everyone. Make sure that all of the guards are informed with what's going on. We don't want to entrust something that is attacking your homestead to common guards now, would we? No. You should probably use that ring. You should probably use that ring to let your soon-to-be wife. I will just as soon as I find out what's going wrong. It sounds like it has a little bit to do with her. So they quickly move on to the estate. And as they go towards, it seems that there's a commotion around the Knots Manor already, as smoke is billowing from the rooftop. That's smoke! Axel yells out, and Neverember just furrows his. And as they run up, some guards have opened the door, but it doesn't look like they dare go in, as they hear explosions from above, and Duncan is thrown off of the roof.
No, Duncan!
He's thrown off, goes like, oh! Father! As he like backs up, and Axel tries to catch him, and he does, and they both come clattering to the ground. Oh, I don't know if that was a good idea. Ah! Oh. And Duncan just shakes his head. Oh, are you okay, Duncan? You've looked better. As Neverember tries to help Duncan up.
Thank you, Malone.
Guards, get here. Yeah. Father, what's going on?